There's a quiet whisper that follows many women as they step into their 60s. It says, tone it down, blend in, stop chasing fashion. Society has long drawn invisible lines around what women over 60 are supposed to wear, as if style has an expiration date. But here's the truth. Those so-called rules aren't just outdated. They're stealing the joy and freedom that fashion should bring us. Think about it. How many times have you heard that women over 60 should only wear dark colors, stick to loose clothing, or avoid trendy pieces altogether? These rules often come disguised as advice, but really they're limitations. They suggest that confidence, elegance, and even fun are reserved only for the young. That couldn't be further from the truth. At 65, I've learned that personal style is not about age, it's about attitude. And when we let go of the old restrictions, we unlock a vibrant, elegant, and truly ageless way of dressing. This video is not just about rejecting outdated fashion rules. It's about rewriting them. It's about discovering how colors, fabrics, silhouettes, and accessories can reflect the woman you are today, not the woman society expects you to be. Along the way, I'll share timeless styling tips, anti-aging fashion choices, and elegant outfit ideas that prove luxury fashion over 60 isn't about following trends blindly, but about curating a wardrobe that feels bold, sophisticated, and uniquely yours. If you've ever stood in front of your closet feeling like the fashion police of age were judging your choices, this video will give you the courage to silence those voices. Because style at 65 is not about blending into the background. It's about stepping forward with confidence, freedom, and joy. So let's begin by breaking down the very first rule that I refuse to follow, a rule that has held too many women back for far too long. I don't believe in wearing only dark colors after 60. For decades, women have been told that once we reach a certain age, we should retreat into a wardrobe filled with black, navy, and gray. Supposedly, dark colors are slimming, appropriate, and the safest way to avoid standing out. But here's the problem. Those rules don't just limit your closet, they limit your spirit. Fashion is meant to express who we are, not conceal us. And at 60, 65, or beyond, we are more vibrant, confident, and alive than ever before. Why should our colors fade when our wisdom is at its brightest? Color has power. Think of how you feel when you slip into a soft blush pink blouse or wrap yourself in a scarf of rich emerald green. Bright colors can instantly lift your mood, brighten your skin tone, and even make you appear more youthful. Studies in fashion psychology have shown that certain hues, like jewel tones, lavender, and soft pastels, actually have anti-aging effects because they reflect light onto the skin, softening fine lines and enhancing natural glow. That means what you wear is not just clothing, it's energy, confidence, and anti-aging skincare in fabric form. Of course, this doesn't mean abandoning dark colors altogether. Black can still be powerful and chic, especially when paired with the right textures and accessories, but the key is balance. If you love black, try layering it with a colorful jacket or adding a bold statement necklace in turquoise or gold. If you've always avoided bright colors, start small. A crimson handbag, a pair of sapphire earrings, or a vibrant silk scarf can transform even the simplest outfit into something radiant. The goal is not to chase every color on the wheel, but to choose shades that make you feel alive. And let's be honest, dark colors aren't always as flattering as people claim. A head-to-toe black outfit can actually make the face look harsh or tired, while a splash of coral or powder blue near your neckline can instantly refresh your entire look. At this stage in life, we don't need to hide, we need to shine. Wearing color is not about dressing too young, it's about dressing in a way that celebrates our vitality. Some of the most elegant women in the world, think Helen Mirren in a bold red gown or Iris Apfel in her kaleidoscope of colors, prove that style after 60 can be fearless and joyful. They don't ask for permission to wear color, and neither should we. After all, fashion is not about fitting into someone else's box. It's about stepping out in a way that feels authentically yours. So the next time you reach for that safe navy sweater, ask yourself, am I choosing this because I love it, or because I've been told it's what's appropriate for my age? If the answer is the latter, maybe it's time to reach for something brighter, because life after 60 is far too precious to spend hiding in the shadows. And if color can bring such freedom, what about the shapes and silhouettes we wear? That's where the next so-called rule falls apart. Because I also refuse to believe that women over 60 should hide their bodies in shapeless clothing. I don't wear shapeless clothes just to hide my body. One of the most persistent myths about aging is that women should cover up their bodies as if growing older is something to be ashamed of. How many times have you heard phrases like, just wear something loose, or don't draw attention to your shape? The unspoken message is clear. After 60, women are expected to disappear under layers of fabric. But I refuse to subscribe to that idea because shapeless clothing doesn't just hide the body, it hides the woman. The truth is, our bodies tell a story. Every line, every curve, every change is part of the life we've lived. Why should we erase that with oversized, boxy garments that swallow us whole? Instead of hiding, I believe in dressing in ways that honor the body I have today. Clothes should flatter, not camouflage. And when I say flatter, I don't mean squeezing into pieces that are uncomfortably tight. I mean choosing cuts and silhouettes that give me structure, movement, and elegance. Take the A-line dress, for example. It's one of the most universally flattering shapes for mature women because it skims the body instead of clinging or drowning it. Pair it with a tailored blazer, and suddenly you've created a polished, timeless look that elongates your frame without sacrificing comfort. Wide-leg trousers are another fantastic choice. They balance proportions, add flow to your movement, and look stunning with a tucked-in silk blouse. These are not clothes that hide the body. They are clothes that celebrate it. Shapeless clothes often give the illusion of being comfortable, but in reality, they can weigh us down, making us look older and less vibrant. A structured jacket, on the other hand, can create definition at the shoulders and waist, instantly sharpening your silhouette. Similarly, a belted cardigan or wrap dress can highlight your shape in a way that feels both comfortable and chic. The secret is tailoring, pieces that are cut with intention and that highlight your natural lines, no matter your size. I've also noticed something powerful. When I dress in a way that acknowledges my figure, I feel more confident. Confidence, after all, is the best accessory any woman can wear. When we step out in clothing that gives us shape and structure, we're sending a message to the world that we are here, we are visible, and we are proud of who we are. That message is far more important than whether or not we conform to someone else's outdated rulebook. Of course, this doesn't mean ignoring comfort. On the contrary, it's about finding the balance between comfort and style. A well-fitted pair of trousers with a little stretch can feel just as easy to wear as oversized sweatpants, only they look infinitely more elegant. A knit-wrap dress can feel as cozy as a robe, yet present you with grace and sophistication. We don't have to choose between comfort and style. We can have both. So the next time you're tempted to throw on that baggy tunic just because it's easy, consider how a more tailored piece might change not only how you look, but how you feel. Because after 60, our fashion should not be about hiding. It should be about honoring the remarkable women we've become. And if shapeless clothes don't define us, neither should the idea that trends are off limits. That brings me to the next so-called fashion rule I refuse to follow: the belief that women over 60 shouldn't wear trends at all. I don't skip fashion trends just because of my age. There's a strange assumption in the fashion world that once a woman crosses a certain age, trends are no longer for her. Magazines and even well-meaning friends sometimes say, leave that to the younger crowd, as if staying current or experimenting with style is a privilege reserved only for women in their 20s and 30s. But here's the truth. Trends aren't about age, they're about choice. And at 65, I have more freedom than ever to decide which trends excite me and which ones I'll happily ignore. The key is not to chase every trend that comes and goes, but to curate the ones that speak to you. Wide leg pants, for instance, have made a powerful comeback. And they're not just a passing fad. They're timeless, elegant, and flattering for mature women because they balance the figure and add movement to every step. Sneakers, once reserved for the gym, have become a style staple. A pair of clean white sneakers can give a fresh, modern touch to a tailored blazer and trousers, making you look both polished and approachable. Why should anyone tell me these pieces aren't appropriate just because of my age? The fear, of course, is that following trends will make us look like we're trying too hard. But here's the secret. It's all in how you style them. A trendy trench coat in a classic camel color will never look out of place on a 65-year-old woman. It looks sophisticated, timeless, and relevant. A bold statement blouse in a current pattern can be paired with simple trousers to balance the look. It's not about dressing like someone half your age. It's about translating trends into a version that feels authentic to you. And let's not forget the joy factor. Fashion is supposed to be fun. When I slip on a trendy piece that makes me smile, I feel energized. That energy shows in how I walk, how I speak, and how I interact with the world. Trends can bring that spark, and we deserve to feel it at every age. It's not about pretending to be younger, it's about embracing the present moment with confidence and style. Another myth about trends is that they're always fast fashion or low quality. That may be true for some pieces, but many luxury designers reinterpret trends in high-quality fabrics and cuts that last for years. Investing in a few trend-inspired pieces, whether it's a beautifully cut blazer, a chic midi skirt, or a fresh handbag silhouette, allows you to keep your wardrobe modern without losing your elegance. This is where luxury fashion over 60 truly shines, because we can choose timeless quality while still feeling current. So the next time you see a trend that sparks your curiosity, don't dismiss it because of your age. Ask yourself instead, does this piece make me feel alive, elegant, and confident? If the answer is yes, then it belongs in your wardrobe, no matter what the fashion rulebook says. And if trends can empower us to stay connected to the present, what about the other side of the spectrum, comfort? Because the next so-called rule suggests that at our age, comfort should be the only priority. But I believe style and comfort should never be forced into a choice. I don't choose comfort over elegance. One of the most common phrases women hear after 60 is, just focus on being comfortable. It sounds innocent, even caring, but hidden inside is a message that elegance is no longer necessary. As if reaching a certain age means giving up beauty, refinement, and self-expression in exchange for nothing but elastic waistbands and oversized t-shirts. Don't get me wrong, comfort matters, but I refuse to believe it has to come at the expense of elegance. The real secret is that true elegance and true comfort can actually live together. Think about slipping into a perfectly tailored linen dress on a summer afternoon. The fabric breathes beautifully, keeps you cool, and yet the cut is sophisticated and graceful. That's comfort and elegance working hand in hand. Or imagine walking into a room wearing soft leather kitten heels. They're gentle on your feet, yet they instantly elevate your look in a way that sneakers or flip-flops never could. Comfort doesn't mean careless, and elegance doesn't mean suffering. Too often, women are pushed toward clothing that is comfortable but shapeless. Baggy cardigans, ill-fitting pants, or plain cotton tops. Yes, they feel easy, but they do little for your spirit. Clothes affect how we carry ourselves. When we wear something elegant, we stand taller, we smile more, and we radiate confidence. That energy not only transforms how we feel inside, but it also changes how the world sees us. Choosing elegance isn't about impressing others, it's about honoring ourselves. And elegance doesn't need to mean extravagant. A silk blouse paired with tailored trousers feels as easy to wear as a sweatshirt, yet it sends a completely different message. A wrap dress in a luxurious jersey fabric moves with you, hugs in the right places, and feels like a second skin, while looking refined enough for dinner or a special occasion. Even accessories can bridge the gap. A structured handbag, a pearl necklace, or a soft cashmere shawl can add a touch of grace without sacrificing comfort. Some women fear elegance is impractical, but in reality, it can be the most practical choice. High-quality fabrics last longer, tailored cuts fit better, and investment pieces often outlive fast fashion comfort wear. When you buy fewer but better pieces, you build a wardrobe that is both sustainable and stylish. And every time you open your closet, you'll be greeted not by clothes that make you feel invisible, but by ones that make you feel empowered. At 65, I've learned that life is too precious to spend it in clothes that make me feel less than my best. Comfort matters, but elegance matters just as much. And when you find the beautiful balance between the two, fashion becomes a daily act of self-respect. If elegance can elevate the way we feel, imagine what happens when we add the finishing touches: our hair, our jewelry, our scarves, our bags. That brings me to the final fashion rule I refuse to follow: the belief that accessories and hairstyles are only minor details. In reality, they are the very things that complete a woman's style. I don't underestimate the power of hair and accessories. If clothing is the canvas, then hair and accessories are the brushstrokes that bring the entire masterpiece to life. Too many women are told that after 60, these details no longer matter, that hair should simply be practical, and accessories should stay minimal, safe, and predictable. But I believe the opposite is true. At 65, I've learned that the smallest choices can often make the biggest impact. A haircut, a necklace, or even a handbag can transform not only an outfit, but how a woman feels about herself. Let's start with hair. Our hairstyle frames the face, and it's often the very first thing people notice. Yet many women play it safe, sticking to the same haircut they've worn for decades. There's nothing wrong with consistency, but sometimes a subtle change, a modern bob, soft layers, or highlights that brighten the complexion, can take years off your appearance without trying too hard. It's not about chasing youth, it's about choosing a style that enhances your natural beauty. In fact, anti-aging hairstyles for women over 60 are less about erasing age and more about embracing freshness, vitality, and confidence. Accessories hold a similar kind of magic. A classic strand of pearls can add timeless sophistication, while bold statement earrings can instantly update a simple black dress. A silk scarf draped over the shoulders brings color, texture, and personality all at once. And then there's the handbag. More than just something to carry our essentials, it's a style statement. A structured leather bag in a rich tone says elegance without a single word. These small details tell the world who we are, and more importantly, they remind us of who we are when we look in the mirror. Some people dismiss accessories as unnecessary, but I see them as the finishing touch that elevates everything else. Imagine wearing a simple pair of trousers and a blouse. Now add a delicate gold chain, a chic pair of sunglasses, and a sleek hairstyle. Suddenly, that ordinary outfit becomes extraordinary. Accessories don't have to be extravagant, they just have to be intentional. And here's the truth: when we pay attention to these details, we send ourselves a powerful message. We say, I'm worth the extra moment it takes to fasten this bracelet or brush my hair with care. Those small acts of elegance carry into the way we walk, the way we speak, and the way we carry ourselves in the world. They're not vanity, they're self-respect. So no, I don't underestimate the power of hair and accessories. In fact, I see them as essential tools that allow women over 60 to step into their day feeling polished, radiant, and complete. Because sometimes it's not the outfit that people remember, it's the confidence that shines through the details. And that's why I've chosen to break these so-called fashion rules. From colors and silhouettes to trends, fabrics, and finishing touches, I've built a personal style that reflects freedom, joy, and elegance at 65 and beyond. Which brings us to the heart of this journey. Why refusing to follow outdated rules is the key to embracing fashion on your own terms. Conclusion: fashion without expiration. As we've walked through each so-called fashion rule, one truth has become undeniable: age does not define style. At 65, I've learned that fashion is not about blending into the background or following outdated prescriptions. It's about expressing the woman you are today, whether it's embracing color, choosing flattering silhouettes, exploring trends, balancing comfort with elegance, or honoring the details of hair and accessories. Every choice you make is an opportunity to celebrate yourself. For too long, society has whispered that women over 60 should shrink, soften, and fade away. But the reality is, these years are some of the most powerful, liberating, and vibrant of our lives. Our style should reflect that freedom. Dressing well isn't about pretending to be younger. It's about showing the world that beauty, elegance, and confidence have no expiration date. Fashion at this stage is not about rules, it's about rewriting them. It's about knowing what makes you feel radiant and having the courage to wear it without apology. When you put on a bold color, when you choose a piece that flatters your shape, when you add that scarf or hairstyle that makes you light up, you are sending a message. That message is simple, but powerful. I am still here, I am still vibrant, and I refuse to disappear. And that's why I believe the best wardrobe for women over 60 is not one dictated by someone else's rules, but one built from your own joy, confidence, and creativity. So as you open your closet tomorrow, I hope you'll remember, you don't need permission to look elegant, radiant, and completely yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found inspiration here, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe for more timeless style inspiration for women over 60, and don't miss my next video where I'll share how to build a truly timeless wardrobe after 60, one that brings you both freedom and elegance every single day. Because fashion after 65 isn't about following rules, it's about creating your own